Championship by Alpine coming your way, and we have vastly different conditions to what we had yesterday and in qualifying this morning. For the first time this weekend, we have a wet track. There you can see the cars lining up. This just the third time this season we have been greeted with wet conditions in the Formula Regional European Championship by Alpine this season. We had a very wet race at Zandvoort, which was won by Tuka Tappinen, and then mixed conditions at Paul Ricard, which was won by Alessandro Giusti. So neither of those won by our pole sitter, Rafael Camara, and this is, we are going to be starting on pole position for a record-breaking 10th time. And Rafael Camara will start on pole position for that record-breaking 10th time. There you can see him right in the middle of your picture. Rafael Camara getting ready to go. Set that pole position earlier today, going across the line to take another pole position this season. That's now 4 in a row. The only other driver to do that so far in the Formula Regional European Championship by Alpine, Gregoire Saucy, back in 2021. Tuka Tappinen for RHGP will start alongside him. 4 wins and 6 podiums so far this season. 59 points now behind Rafael Camara, and was 8 seconds back at the flag yesterday. That's sounding a lot better now, isn't it, from myself as well. Brando Badua will start directly behind Rafael Camara on the grid. The Italian took a grid drop yesterday. Will be hoping for a podium on home soil here. Took 6 podiums so far this season. Can he now add to that? Could he even get a first win? Someone who will looking to be getting on the top step for a second time this season. Alessandro adapt to that. This is going to be a very interesting race. We haven't had conditions like this all weekend, so leaves it very open speaking to some of the drivers out there. Some definitely looking forward to it. Others may have just been hoping for a straightforward race. One of those probably being Rafael Camara. Now, for the 4th time in a row, we'll start from the head of the field. Can he do the double like we've seen him doing already this season? Tuka Tappinen, 5th, the championship leader. Then we have Alessandro Giusti. Zach David had a drive-through penalty yesterday after the blower was left on the car. He's going to be on row 3 with Noah Stromstead, who's in a great rookie fight. Enzo Deligny is also in that fight. 16 points now back from Ivan Dominguez. He's alongside James Wharton, who was on the podium yesterday. The 2 Van Amersfoort Racing teammates, Pedro Clero and Ivan Dominguez, the rookie points leader, but in a very close contest. They're on row 5. Evan Gilter is in that rookie points lead fight. He's on row 6 with Ugo Ugachukwu, who needs a return to the points, having gone missing in the last couple of rounds. Let's see if he can return there from row 6. Roman Belinsky gained 7 places in the space of just a few corners as he charged through to get his first points in just shy of 4 months. Dorian Pan has a chance to get a first points for herself and the Iron Dames team from 14th. Enzo Peugeot and Matteo De Paolo next after that. Then we have Théophile Nall and a personal best qualifying for Giovanni Maschio. A personal best result for Théophile Nall yesterday. He's finished 7th a couple of times, was there again yesterday. Nikhil Bora and Kanato Lee, who went well in those mixed conditions we had at Paul Ricard. Nanda Vordabin Bakhti and Nikita Bedrin, who had a first DNF yesterday. Always seems to go well in the races. Let's see what he can do. Is a driver that moves forward. Could be one to watch. Valerio Rinicella and Ricky Lee, who come next, and Nico Lacorte and Maya Verg on her return to the series. Then we have Edgar Pierre and Marta Garcia after that. And rounding out the grid will be Yaroslav Veselau and Roman Andriola. Well, there we can see the drivers heading off for the formation lap as we get ready to go racing. Wet tyres on the cars on a wet track here at Imola. It's just a case of whether anyone will want to gamble at some stage and change tyres if the rain is due to hold off. It doesn't appear to be coming down at a moderate rate currently, but there you can see the rain did fall down heavily around an hour ago and did fall down for quite some time. So it has soaked the track in areas. This is a part of the track that will be particularly difficult in these conditions. There you can see the Acqua Minerale section of the circuit where the Variante Alta section here and Piratella into that corner. So wet tyres on the car. The Trident team were practicing pit stops. We have had an off on the formation lap through Edgar Pierre as well, which just shows you how difficult the conditions are. And there you can see pretty much all the field now, I'm being told, all the field on a wet track are on wet tyres. We will see if anyone at some point decides to come in and change if the conditions allow them to do that. We had a fascinating race here before where half the track was wet, half of it was dry. It's going to be a case of who evolves to these conditions the best, because we've had absolutely no laps in these conditions throughout the weekend. This is the first time they're going to be taking on the Imola circuit in these conditions. So who will be the bravest on the brakes when we go down towards the Tamburello chicane on the first lap? Who will adapt the quickest? That is what we will find out over the course of the next 30 minutes. It's going to be a 30 minutes plus 1 lap race. Points system, same as Formula 1, 25 to the winner, 1 point going the way of 10th place. We have the push to pass system usually, but that is not allowed. No push to pass in this race, so they will be without that currently. That usually get that 5 times during the race as we get ready to go racing for race 2. There you can see the drivers getting ready to go. 30 of them in total. We have this fascinating rookie fight. 16 points between the top 5. Ivan Dominguez leading that. Leading the championship is Rafael Camara. He is on pole for the 10th time. To the left of screen, Tuukka Taponen. To the right is Rafael Camara. And we are go in the Formula Regional European Championship by Alpine for race 2 of round 7 here at Imola in the wet conditions. Rafael Camara takes us down towards the Tamburello chicane, and we've got contact there between the 2 championship leaders. Taponen there spun into the gravel. Rafael Camara looks stranded as well, and that's going to put Alessandro Giusti into the lead. Huge, huge drama. The 2 leading drivers in this championship coming together down at the first braking zone, and that's put Alessandro Giusti there into the lead of the race. Huge drama at the start of the race. Alessandro Giusti takes the lead. It looks like Taponen didn't get going again, but we saw Camara getting himself back onto the circuit as they make their way up towards Piratella now for the first time. They'll make their way downhill in towards Acqua Minerale. Second looks to be Noah Stromstead. Zach David has gone to third. This will open huge opportunities to some of those chasing drivers, and Tuukka Taponen is out. Disaster for Taponen. Would have seen this as an opportunity to try and take points away from Rafael Camara. That will not be the case. Brando Badua has also been delayed in all of that. He is out of the points as well, and Matteo De Paolo's taking a spin. Up at Variante Alta, Matteo De Paolo taking a spin, and you could see a blast of fire coming out the back of his car there, and we've got a safety car deployed. Well, no surprise there with all the drama that we had in the opening few corners. We got Matteo De Paolo spun, and that fire has been extinguished by the Marshals team very, very quickly, and our thanks to the Marshals and the safety crew for all their work. throughout the weekend. Let's watch this start back then. Kamara to the right of screen in the red and white Prema, Tappanen to the left. Two leading drivers in the championship going head-to-head. We had a great start from one of the ARTs. This is the moment. Tappanen goes down the inside and into the side of Kamara there. Well, Tappanen was trying to make his lunge on Kamara, trying to make his move on Kamara, and it did not work out for him at all. And it's seen both drivers out of the race. Tappanen thought he saw a door open. Kamara immediately closed it, and that has seen a collision between the two. It will be investigated after the race. Kamara may feel slightly aggrieved at that one, having turned into the corner as the leader and found himself facing the wrong way, but the stewards will take a look at that one after the race. Well, it's left Giusti as our leader. Stromstead always goes well in the wet. He is second, and the rookie leader, Zach David, is third. Enzo Deligny is fourth. Then we have Evan Gilter up to fifth from 11th on the grid. James Wharton is sixth. Pedro Clero is now seventh. Ivan Dominguez is eighth. Roman Belinsky in the points up to ninth. Enzo Peugeot 10th, but Brando Badua dropped, delayed by what was going on, down to 12th. So he's going to be one to watch in this race. Brando Badua in the orange and black Van Amersfoort car will be one to watch from there. Big opportunity here from Sandro Giusti. He's 122 points back in the championship, so looking at just taking some race wins, and he's got a chance to take two victories, essentially, back-to-back here. They come with the same amount of points, but nevertheless, he's got a chance to get another win. Noah Stromstead has got a chance to get a first win. And Zach David, likewise. Enzo Deligny, likewise. Evan Gilter's got a chance to return to the top step. Huge opportunities all round. The track will be evolving all the time. We've lost to Paolo, we've lost Tappanen, Pierre into the gravel on the formation lap. So we've lost three drivers from this race. 27 remain, 25 minutes left on the clock, plus the additional lap at the end. Let's go racing once again at Imola then for round 7 of race 2. Alessandro Giusti has now the pace and the control of the field. When will he decide to get his foot down is the question. Push to pass disallowed, remember, so it will be down to the drivers to go for their moves, and they will certainly be looking to take places. Giusti is going to take it up to the line with that now. So he is aware of the presence of that overtaking opportunity and that RPM behind him. He's going to look to try and catch him out, and he's done just that. Great launch there from Giusti, and we go green once again at Imola. Alessandro Giusti up to the line, and he's got a gap straight away from Noah Stromstead. Zach David, now the RHGP car in third place. And there we see a move. Evan Gilter down the inside of the Red Bull Junior Enzo Deligny. And that's a great move there from Evan Gilter, who gets himself up into P4. So Evan Gilter, the young Frenchman who we saw on the top step of the podium back at Hockenheim, now into 4th place. Started out of the top 10. The red and white Prema to the far left of screen was James Wharton. Can he go around the outside at Tozer here of Enzo Deligny, who's getting his elbows out? We've got an Iron Dames car on the attack, which I think is Dorian Pan trying to take 2 places at once. And I think she's done just that. Wow, great driving from Dorian Pan there. She's going to be side by side with Teofel Niall. Let's see if she can do it coming into picture. I think she has. So that will be 13th place if that move is completed. Meanwhile, there's a lunge from James Wharton on the curb, almost contact with Enzo Deligny. Just about giving each other racing room. We've lost Maschio from the top 20. He's just gone charging down the order. So Giovanni Maschio may have taken a brief trip off the road and returned again. Dorian Pan did make that move. Here comes the Iron Dames car. She's now right behind Brando Badua, who started this race on the second row of the grid. Absolutely flying from the order into Rivazza 1 we go. And you can see Enzo Peugeot going down the inside there of Ivan Dominguez. Ivan Dominguez now being shuffled wide from Ugo Chukwu in the papaya. So Ugo Chukwu just ahead of Ivan Dominguez as they make their way down the start-finish straight. Roman Belinsky is just behind this as well. This the battle for the lower order of the top 10. Are we going to be 3 wide? Here goes Ugo Chukwu to the right of screen. To the left is Roman Belinsky. Oh, and suspension damage for Ivan Dominguez there. It looked like he clipped someone there. I think he might have damage to that car. Is that a front wing loose as well? It is. So Ivan Dominguez is going to have to come into the pit lane. What a disaster of a weekend for Ivan Dominguez. We saw him picking up damage yesterday, and Ivan Dominguez, unfortunately, will be making a similar trip to the pit lane today. There's Nikita Bedrin going up the inside of someone down at Toza. So Nikita Bedrin trying to get past Kinato Lee, that is, who's on a charge here from 20th on the grid. Kinato Lee is up to 14th place. The gap between the top two, one second so far. Giusti and Stromstead. Then it's Zach David. Evan Gilter, fourth, is 2 tenths behind Zach David. Are we going to see this move complete? Here he is. He's looking all over the back of Zach David. You can see him looking left and right. There he is. Evan Gilter. Oh, and he's pulling over. Oh, I don't believe it. Evan Gilter's got a problem with his car. Slowing down is Evan Gilter. That's a disaster for the Frenchman. Oh no, Evan Gilter. What a shame for him. He was doing so well. He'd gone from 11th to 4th. And Evan Gilter is now going to have to make his way back into the pit lane. That's such a disaster. Looked to be on for a podium, if not better. And Evan Gilter now, sadly, looks to be out of this race. Black flag with the orange discs, or a mechanical flag, that means for Ivan Dominguez. That will be for that front wing damage. Dorian Pan in 11th place. Right behind Badua, crucially Brando Badua in the points. We've got so many changes going on to this race, it's hard to keep up. Giusti is 1.1 seconds ahead of Noah Stromstedt there. They are. There's Zach David. Here's the front wing change going on for Ivan Dominguez. I wonder if they try something bold here. Ivan Dominguez and Van Amersfoort. I don't know if the conditions are good enough to do that. I mean, they are looking for wet patches out there. Do they go for something? Van Amersfoort, we were watching a race back actually in hospitality yesterday of when they got a 1-2 finish at Red Bull Ring, and a safety car is out in similar conditions actually with Kaz Havicourt and Josh Dufek. So Van Amersfoort have a good history in races like this. Ivan Dominguez sadly won't be able to get that result today. Just picking up, it looked like initial suspension damage, but it was actually the front wing that he caught on the side of, or on the rear of Belinsky's car as we went 3 wide. And 3 wide into Tamburello, I've seen it done many a times, and a large portion of the times it's done unsuccessfully. So we're seeing the drivers going offline, just looking to cool those tyres down. Right, it gives us a chance to take a bit of a breath then. Alessandro Giusti is our leader. There's Evan Gilter. You can see the rear of his car. He didn't even get round to pit lane. Well, that shows you the extent of the problems he was suffering with that car. What a shame. Evan Gilter. Could have been a big result for him from 11th on the grid, and he's just had a real poor run of misfortunes in recent times. And when you're on a run like that, sometimes as a driver, they just seem to follow you, even in your best drives. And Evan Gilter, for him, thankfully, he has the chance to correct that with another race next weekend at the Red Bull Ring. Alessandro Giusti, our leader, we saw him start from P4. Noah Stromstead up 4 places. Zach David in 3rd place. Enzo Deligny in 4th. He's up 4. James Wharton, 5th. Pedro Clero is 6th. Enzo Peugeot up 8 places in this one. Ugo Ugachukwu and Roman Belinsky both up 4. Brando Badua will welcome this safety car. He's got a chance to get some places. Dorian Pan has made 3 places. Kanato Lee is up from 20th on the grid to 12th. Can he go and get some points? Nikita Bedrin is up from 22nd to 13th. Teofil Nile, he's up from 17th to 14th. And we got Ricky Liu, who's come from 24th place to 15th. So some big movers in this race. Nando Woodbin Bakti has moved his way up to 16th. Yaroslav Veselau has gone from 29th to 17th on what would be one of his best results, if not his best result in this championship. Now Rafael Camara is behind him, and Rafael Camara has a chance. I mean, he did an absolute masterclass in how to win a race in the Formula Regional European Championship by Alpine yesterday. Will we see Rafa Camara do a masterclass in how to recover points today? Here they see them come through. Wait for it. There he is in the 5. Thank you to the team in the gallery for that. Rafa Camara, 18th place. Wow. The incident between Dominguez and Belinsky has been noted, which has seen Dominguez come in. He will rejoin the back of this queue. And again, he'll have 15 or whatever the time we have left, plus the additional lap. So 14 or so minutes plus a lap if the safety car is to come in next time. Well, the safety car won't be doing purple sectors, will it? But you get my gist. He'll still have over 10 minutes. We'll play it safe. Plus a lap. What can he do in that time? Roman Belinsky said to me earlier, no further action, by the way, on his and Dominguez's incident, said to me yesterday, for those of you who weren't with us for qualifying, that he was really struggling with his back, even in qualifying, but the most laps he'd done since his road accident that he suffered after Spa on the run-up to Zandvoort, that 6 laps in a row was the most he'd done, which he'd done in practice. And to do what he did, I know I've said it a couple of times, but I think to come back from 2 broken vertebrae and at a track like this in particular and make the rise up to a points-paying position was certainly one that all the drivers applauded his efforts and were very happy to see him back. A real community is the Frecker paddock. He's in 9th. Badua, what can he do? Can Dorian Pan get a first point for the Iron Dames team? What a story that would be for them. Would be really great to see them get off the mark. They've come into the championship this year. Iron Dames, the lineup of Dorian Pan, F1 Academy winner, race winner this year. Marta Garcia, the champion, the inaugural champion last year. A great duo they are. And inspiring many people. A team that inspires many young drivers. They always have a lot of support everywhere we go, particularly when we do our autograph sessions. Points for them. In particularly what's been a difficult time for them as a team, losing Luca Persiani, who tragically died over the summer break at the age of just 40 years old. He was in the Frecker paddock as well, Luca Persiani, and our thoughts with his friends and family at this hugely difficult time. And Iron Dames in particular, when they went to Zandvoort just a few days after that tragic passing, said they were there to race for Luca Persiani. And as for the Iron Dames Frecker team, this is the first time they raced since that tragic news, and I think a point for them would be a would be really fitting, actually. So let's see if they can go and do that. What a story it would be for driver and team. Down to Rivazza, 1 and 2. There we see the number 22, Pedro Clero, the Brazilian. Loves this circuit. Really enjoying it when I spoke to him on Friday. Very challenging track. One with its very obvious history. You can see the flag up in the background as well. One that's very visible as a driver. I'm sure when you come around those final sections, when you climb out the car and when you stand on the podium, it must be quite the sight, and would have been quite the sight for Rafa Camara, the Brazilian, yesterday, who will stand on that podium today. We get our top 3 on there. We get our top rookie on there as well. If they're not already on those top 3 positions. Noah Stromstead is currently on those top 3 positions. Now, Ivan Dominguez, with this result, would be down in 25th, out of the points. Evan Gilter is out of the race. So the top 2 in the rookie standing, similar to the overall championship, out of the race. So that opens the door. If the checkered flag were to go out now, Noah Stromstead, who is 11 points behind Ivan Dominguez, would essentially take the lead in the rookie standings. We would have Pedro Clero in 6th place. He would score 8 points, so he would surpass Evan Gilter and be right a lot closer to Dominguez. And as for Enzo Deligny, well, he would move within 4 points of Dominguez and move up to 3rd in the rookie standings. So it'd be very close, but we'd have a new rookie points leader in Noah Stromstead. One of 3 drivers to compete in FIA Formula 3 this year. We must take this chance to say another congratulations to our first Formula 1 graduate, Franco Colapinto, who won here. I think many of you will remember his move round the outside of another Frecker alumni, Paul Aron. Great side-by-side battle they have down the start-finish straight into Tamburello. A move that will go down in Formula 2 history, and that it will, because he was the first FIA Formula 2 Argentinian winner and the first at that level since Jose Maria Lopez in 2005. And congratulations to our reigning champion, Andrea Kimi Antonelli, who will keep that Frecker presence on the grid going into next season as well. We've got a strong contingent fighting for the F2 title. We've already had our alumni crown the F3 title. They are doing very well, the current alumni drivers, as we approach our 75th race, which will take place next week, and there we will certainly take the time to celebrate what has been the Formula Regional European Championship by Alpine history. But these are the present, and the current drivers putting on a real show for us today. In particular, you can see why so many drivers filter into this championship each year, why it keeps a grid of well over 30 drivers, always around 10 of them supported by F1 teams, and always similar going into the Formula 3. Now that is Dorian Pan, who has just gone into pit lane. She was running in 11th, and Dorian Pan looks to be out of the race. And that is a disaster for Dorian Pan. Oh no, Dorian Pan out of the race, coming into the pit lane. That's, well, we saw Evan Gilter. Unfortunate for him, but that's a real shame. Dorian Pan was on for her first points, the first points for Ian Dames as well. And it looks to be that Dorian Pan is out of this race. Well, she's put in such a great performance, 14th to 11th. When we restarted, she was set to go fighting for first points. And that a real shame. Dottie and Pan put in such a good performance, but she will not be fighting for them when we resume. And she will certainly, when we go racing for the remaining 3 rounds, be fighting for them. Huge shame to her, but a huge well done to her for a very good drive. Let's concentrate on the restart, though, because we've got Alessandro Giusti, who will take us into the final 7.5 minutes of this race, plus the additional lap. The safety car lights are about to go out. There they go. Giusti took us to the line last time. Will he do the same this time? Noah Stromstead second, Zach David third, Deligny, Wharton, Claro, Peugeot, Ugachukwu, Belinsky, Badua, Kanato Lee now just 1 place away from points, having started from the 10th row. Round the final corner we go. Giusti will lead us up towards the line. And there you can see him just weaving the car now, getting ready to go. He's going to do the same tactic this time. Stromstead trying not to be thrown off by this approach, and looks like Stromstead's going to be right with him this time. Alessandro Giusti looking to try and go all the way to the line, and he's done just. And Noah Stromstead is wise to the tactics, and he stayed right in his slipstream. Zach David just as close. It's going to be really bunched up now as we go into the final 6.5 minutes. On the brakes, down to Tamburello, and contact Enzo Deligny into the gravel there. Looks like Enzo Peugeot was the other car that's gone into the gravel. Enzo Deligny is out. Oh no, we could see the safety car straight back out. They were so bunched up going down into the Tamburello chicane. Something had to give there. What a shame for Enzo Deligny. He's had such a good weekend, and that would have been so good for his rookie title hopes, but he spun round into the gravel. Enzo Peugeot off into the gravel as well. We'll have to investigate further what happened there. I'm sure there will be further looks at that one after as well. What a shame. Let's find out then. So Enzo Deligny, the Red Bull Junior. And Enzo Peugeot's just broken too late and gone straight into the back of him. That's a real shame for Enzo Deligny. A mistake from Peugeot, and Deligny finds himself the victim of it. And that's double yellow flags out down at that section. So there, that's Kanato Lee, who's gone wide. Brando Badua's gone wide as well. So it's Giusti and Stromstead are broken clear. Where's Rafa Kamara out of this? I wonder. He's up to 13th. Wow, he's come all the way from the back of the field. Oh, and they're running wide down at Rivazza 1. Roman Belinsky's up to 7th. Out of this, Ugo Ugachukwu is flying in this race as well. He's up to P6. He's come from 12th on the grid. They're all there's so much changes going on in this race. Kanato Lee and Brando Badua have both run off, and now they're under pressure themselves. There's still a fight going on for the win here, and there's a fight going on for third, which is now in the places of James Wharton. Wharton ahead of Zach David. And we can see that's a change that has happened. Wharton ahead of David. He's come up a few places. He's come up from P7. And we could see further changes here. Claro versus Ugachukwu versus Roman Belinsky. Nikita Bedrin, who's come from way back down in the order, right there as well. And Ugachukwu is going to look to the outside. He's going to sell the dummy. Ugachukwu, the McLaren Junior. What a move this will be if he can pull it off. Down the inside there of Pedro Claro. They're almost touching wheels as they come out. Good racing room given between the pair. Now down to Piratella. And Roman Belinsky's going to try and capitalize on a bad run there from Ugachukwu. Just got the rears spun up in trying to complete that move, but defends it well. Nikita Bedrin from 22nd on the grid is in the points. Right there, Nikita Bedrin. 3.5 to go. Teofil Nile there as well. 17th he's come from to being in the points. Rafa Kamara is back in the points. He went all the way to the back of the field. He was dead last after that spin on the first lap. There he is. Wow, Rafa Kamara from last to 10th. This is amazing stuff. He could get a top 5 finish. Down to Ravazza 1, that's brave from Ugo Ugachukwu. Down the inside he goes there of the Van Amersfoort, but he completes it. Rafa Kamara, well, that is brave this time from Rafa Kamara. Down the inside of a Santilok, and he goes up the inside of Teofil Nile, thinks the better of it in the end, completes... almost completes the move, gets back into the toe of Teofil Nile. So Ugachukwu, we did see a move complete, and that was him going into P5. Rafa Kamara in the background in the number 5 looks to the inside briefly of Niall, who's looking to the outside of Bedrin. Try and keep up with it if you can. Oh, Niall's off into the gravel. Enzo Peugeot stationary in the middle of the track. And he was collected there by Kanato Lee, who got rear right suspension damage. Similar damage that's now to Enzo Peugeot. Giovanni Maschio is off the track. And that will be a safety car. Well, I think we're all grateful that rear right suspension damage to both cars is all we walk away with. There we see Enzo Peugeot. His car now stationary in the chicane. Let's see what happened here. Well, he's taken a spin, and taking avoiding action was the rest of the field, and they did very well to do just that, particularly Kanato Lee, who managed to completely avoid his line and rejoins the circuit. So I'm being told it was straight after a pit stop on different tyres, Enzo Peugeot was. So my thanks to the team in the gallery for that one. But that will be a safety car, and unless it comes in on the next lap, that will be the race. Which, with what we have to clear up, is probably unlikely. Enzo Peugeot walks away. It's not been the best of weekends for him. Picked up damage in race 1. And not the way he would have liked to have ended his weekend, but as I mentioned, we go again next weekend. There is our safety car. Enzo Peugeot's car no longer at that part of the circuit. It'll either be a safety car to the line or a one-lap shootout. Let's find out together, I guess. It's been a race of unknowns. Let's go through the top 10, shall we, first of all. Alessandro Giusti is our leader and has been for pretty much the entire race since Kamara and Taponen came together. Taponen, since then, out of the race. Kamara has come back to P9. Stromstead has done very well. He's been in second pretty much that entire race distance as well, keeping Giusti very honest. We've had James Wharton pass Zach David after the last safety car restart. David will hope he's got a chance to get that back. Ugo Ugachukwu has come from 12th place to 5th, completing the 5th place move just before the safety car came out. Pedro Clero has moved up from at the back of the top 10 to 6th. Roman Belinsky has come from the 7th row to 7th. So 2 points finishes after his injuries will certainly take the incident between Maschio and Bora. So he came together with Nikhil Bora, will be investigated after the race. Teofil Nile, 8th place. That will be a brilliant weekend for him. Rafa Kamara has come from last after spinning to 9th somehow, and Nikita Bedrin was started in 22nd, and he will come back to 10th. So there'll be one additional lap. We'll either do it at this speed or we'll do it at full speed, and we're about to find that out together. We will usually be told by now if the safety car is going to come in, so I assume this will be this. and the safety car lights remain on. The race will be finished behind the safety car is now the message on the screen. That'll come as good news to ART and Alessandro Giusti, and that'll take us around the final lap. Not surprising given the incidents that we had. Clearly, the marshals needing to do some more work around the circuit to get the track in a safe enough condition to go racing, and that is always the prominent factor in this. We need to make sure it is safe enough to go racing before we can release all of the drivers at racing speed. And they'll head down now to the Tamburello chicane, where we did see that incident which has brought out the safety car. And they head through the chicane now. There we can see the stricken car of Kanato Lee, who pulled over to avoid the car of Enzo Peugeot, which had taken that spin. And through Villeneuve chicane now. And what a race it's been from, what a weekend it's been from Alessandro Giusti. Didn't quite get the launch he would have hoped for yesterday, Sandro. He got himself onto the front row, dropped back to the lower order of the top 5, ended up finishing his race in 5th, but it's going to be another win for him, 2 wins in as many rounds, and he's starting to find the form that he would have hoped for, that many of us expected, people regular to the series, given his given how well he did, particularly at the end of last season. And he goes to a track next week where he has won at the Red Bull Ring, and very shortly after that, he's won at Monza as well, where we'll end our season. So it's good stuff from Sandro Giusti. Noah Stromstead, a podium for him as well, and that won't be for the first time. Noah Stromstead, we've seen him on there twice already this season, and James Wharton, that'll be another podium for him. It will be a 5th of the season. Rafa Kamara coming back from last all the way up to 9th. Bedrin coming up the order as well. There's been some great stories. You can see Nico Lacorte gained 12. Roman Andriolo gained 15 places, was the biggest mover in the race. Marta Garcia gained 11. There's been some fantastic drives up and down the order. Ivan Dominguez made a good recovery as well, it has to be said. Well done to him, because he lost his front wing, came into the pits from a pit stop. Ivan Dominguez finished 16th. That's a fabulous drive from him. What could have been for the likes of Dominguez, and I guess Kamara in a way, but he'll take the points. But taking full points out front will be Alessandro Giusti. He's going to head up to the line, and for the second time this season, Alessandro Giusti will stand on the top step of the podium. It's going to be 2 wins in as many rounds for the Frenchman. The Williams Academy driver now takes his 5th win in the Formula Regional European Championship by Alpine. And what a result for him and his championship as well. He'll be very, very happy with that. 2 wins in as many rounds. Going into the final few rounds, he's really starting to hit form. And that will be great news for him, with another race coming up next weekend where he stood on the top step last year. He's going to be absolutely flying with confidence. Noah Stromstead picks up a 3rd podium. James Wharton picks up a 5th podium. It's a rookie win for Noah Stromstead, which will elevate him to the top of the rookie points as well. So we see a swing in the points there. Zach David, 4th place, a good recovery for him after what happened yesterday. Ugachuk with 5th, Clero, Belinsky, Teofil Nile, Rafa Kamara coming from last to 9th after what happened on the first lap. Nikita Bedrin, Brando Badua, 11th. Nandor Woodbin-Bakti matches his result from yesterday. Lecorte, Maya Verg as well, came from 26th place to 14th. Roman Andriolo gained 15 places. He started dead last and finished 15th. Ivan Dominguez, despite changing his front wing, finished 16th. And then Marta Garcia, 17th, but there was a lot of retirees as well. Lee, Bora, Maschio, Peugeot, Deligny, Pan, Gilter, De Paolo, Taponen, Pierre. So you can see we lost a lot of people from that race. It was a race where you just needed to keep it on the track, and if you did that, you were going to pick up a lot of places, get yourself up the order, and possibly get yourself in the points. But credit to those who did. And certainly, huge credit to Alessandro Giusti, the number 10 driver, now 2 times a winner this season. And Noah Stromstead as well, in terms of this fight for the rookie title, which is very, very close. It's been an overall title fight, which has been hugely dominated by Rafa Kamara's winnings, the amount of wins that he's got this season. But Alessandro Giusti is the man to claim victory today at Imola. When the rain fell, Alessandro Giusti was the one who rose and picked up victory here at Imola. Another win in the wet conditions once again. He really does enjoy these conditions, says Sandro. Just like he did at Paul Ricard, Sandro Giusti drives through the rain to come through onto the top step of the podium, the Williams Academy driver. We had that incident at the first breaking point of the circuit. He navigated his way through and never let anyone by after that. Controlled the race, controlled multiple safety car restarts, which is never an easy thing to do. And a very, very deserved winner. Noah Stromstead gave it his absolute best. He'll be very pleased when he realizes the things that happened around in terms of the rookie title fight, and leads now the rookie standings, and James Wharton on the podium once again. Well, I don't know how we've managed to condense these down, but let's see how they've given it a go. So Rafa Kamara and Tuukka Taponen on the front row, the 2 leading drivers in the championship, and they came together. Rafa Kamara turns into the corner, Taponen down the inside, and the 2 collided together, and it took Taponen out of the race. Kamara in the red and white Prema would get going. It will be investigated after the race. Through the chicane we went, and we saw Matteo De Paolo take a spin up there. This was all on the first lap. He would bring out an immediate safety car with De Paolo's car needing to be extinguished, and the marshals getting to work to do that very, very quickly. Ukachukwu in the papaya there, making places. Dominguez going just slightly too quickly into the braking zone, being caught out by Roman Belinsky, who was in a fight 3 ways, and Dominguez would have to come into a pit stop to change that front wing. Then we saw Enzo Peugeot got his braking point a little bit wrong into Tamburello. Enzo Deligny, the victim of that. Enzo Peugeot then went to change tyres and found himself stationary. Did try to get out of the way, but just too late for Kinato Lee, who did well in avoidance to minimise that incident. Out front, we would then finish behind the safety car. Alessandro Giusti taking the win. His 2nd win of the season, back-to-back wins in terms of the rounds now. He took race 2 win at round 6 in similar conditions, and round 7, race 2 goes the way of Sandro Giusti. To the right of screen in the red suit, that is James Wharton. 3rd place to the left in the orange and green, that is Noah Stromstead, the Dane for RPM. And in the middle, the Frenchman, Sandro Giusti for ART Grand Prix. Our rookie winner is to the left of screen. Noah Stromstead, he's already out there. And the ART Grand Prix team will come out now as well. They're having a great season. And when the team find their step on the podium, the anthem, or the trophies will be given and the anthems will be played. Here come the trophies first of all. Wharton now finding a few of these, 5 that is now for the season. And we get one for Noah Stromstead as well. That's a 3rd one for him, and another rookie win as well. He's had a few rookie wins. That's 6 rookie wins, the same that Gabriele Mini got in his season. And another win for Alessandro Giusti. That's a 5th win for him now in the Formula Regional European Championship by Alpine. Congratulations to our winning team, ART Grand Prix. The French driver winning with the French team, Sandro Giusti, the Williams Academy driver. A great weekend for him. Congratulations to Sandro Giusti taking the win there. They'll get up for their pictures and celebrate, and that concludes round 7. It ended in very dramatic circumstances, and we don't have to wait much longer now for Formula Regional European Championship by Alpine Racing. We return in just a week's time. Join us at the Red Bull Ring for round 8 of the season from the 14th and 15th of September. For now, from everyone here at Imola, it is goodbye.